The simplest model to use when analyzing diode circuits is the ideal diode model, which assumes that the diode is a 0.7 volt battery when forward biased and an open circuit when reverse biased. So again, is this true or false? Well, if we look at the notes linked below the like button, page 49, we have these notes right here. It's the ideal diode model. It's the simplest model for a diode. So we can already check mark off this first part, right? It's the simplest model to use when analyzing our diode. So this is true. Now it says, which assumes that the diode is a 0.7 volt battery when forward biased. So this is going to be our next part, where we assume that the diode is a 0.7 volts when forward biased. So let's look at our forward bias parts. So this models forward bias diodes as short circuits. Well, this is a little bit different than what we have here. So this is not true. So already it's going to be false. But let's keep going through this. So it assumes that the diode, it says here that it assumes that the diode is a 0.7 volt battery when forward biased. Now this is not true. With the battery, what we assume is that there's a battery in series with our diode. And it's a 0.7 volt battery that powers the diode. So that means in forward biased, which looks something like what we have to the left right here in this diagram on part A. When it's forward biased like this, we can see that current is flowing through. So it's going to act as a short circuit. It's just going to let that current flow through, right? And if it's in reverse biased, when the diode, which looks like an arrow, is pointing in the opposite direction of our current, they're like butting heads, that means it's going to act as an open circuit. And when it acts as an open circuit, no current is going to flow through. So the second part is right. It says an open circuit when reverse biased. It's just the middle part that's untrue. And with that, we've analyzed this question. Super important to pay attention to the key words. The incorrect part was the forward bias, because this, we model forward bias as a short circuit. V is equal to 0 across it. And the diode always has a 0.7 volt battery with it. And that is it for looking at this problem.